Rinat Leonidovych Akhmetov is a Ukrainian businessman and oligarch. He is the founder and president of Scm Capital Management, and is ranked among the wealthiest men in Ukraine. As of February 2015, he was listed as the 216th richest man in the world with an estimated net worth of US $6.5 billion. There have been claims Akhmetov has been involved in organized crime. Akhmetov is also the owner and president of the Ukrainian football club Shakhtar Donetsk. In 2006, 2007 and 2007 to 2012, Akhmetov was a member of the Ukrainian Verkhovna Rada for the Party of Regions. During the 2014 pro-Russian conflict in Ukraine, some pro-Ukrainian activists accused Akhmetov of being a financial backer of the separatist militants in Donetsk. Akhmetov himself has issued statements supporting a united Ukraine and provided workers to clear separatist barricades and accompany police on patrol. Akhmetov also made numerous statements since March 2014, appealing for integrity of Ukraine and finding peaceful solutions of the crisis. Early life. Rinat Akhmetov was born in Donetsk, Ukrainian SSR, to a working-class family. He is an ethnic Volga Tatar. His father, Leonid Akhmetov, was a coal miner, and his mother, Nyakia Nazridanovna, was a shop assistant. Rinat Akhmetov has an older brother, Igor, who also worked as a coal miner but had to resign due to work-related health complications. Education. Rinat Akhmetov obtained a Bachelor of Arts, Science in Economics from the Donetsk National University. He graduated in 2001. Business career. Beginnings. Details regarding Akhmetov's past, how he obtained his wealth after the fall of communism in Ukraine, and the decade between 1985 and 1995 remain controversial. Akhmetov is said to have ties to organized crime. Akhmetov has stated in interviews that he obtained his wealth by making risky business investments in the first years after the collapse of the Soviet Union, and responded to allegations in 2010, denying he has ever inherited any money from Akhar or anyone else. "I have earned my first million by trading coal and coke, and spent the money on assets that no one wanted to buy. It was a risk, but it was worth it." Many publications in Ukraine and other European countries have made claims about Akhmetov's alleged criminal past, some of which later retracted their statements. In his popular documentary book Donetsk Mafia anthology, Ukrainian author Serhiy Kuzin claims Akhmetov held the role of a mafia thug in his early years, according to Hans van Zon, professor of Central and Eastern European Studies in the University of Sunderland. As early as 1986, Rinat and his brother Igor were involved in criminal activities. In the 1980s, Akhmetov acted as an assistant to Akhar, whom law enforcement agencies regarded as a powerful crime boss, allegedly in the illegal cloth trading business. Andrew Wilson, a scholar specializing in Ukrainian politics, categorized Akhmetov as a former enforcer and leader of Dragon's Tatar clan, responsible for the use of mafia methods to push aside the red directors of the. By the early 1990s, Akhmetov began acquiring property in Donetsk allegedly by means of extortion with the assistance of Volodymyr Malyshev, Lieutenant General of the head of Ministry of Internal Affairs Department in Donetsk Oblast. Malyshev, now a member of Ukraine's parliament on the committee controlling law enforcement, is accused by Kuzin of using his position to do away with previously existing police records concerning Akhmetov shortly before becoming chief of security for Akhmetov's company. Akhmetov was very different. He was totally private with no public persona, and was trying to find ways to deal with his difficult past, noted U.S. Ambassador William Taylor, citing prominent Ukrainian businessman Serhiy Baruta. In October 1995, Bragan, his former mentor and president of Shakhtar Donetsk football club, was killed in a mysterious bombing along with 6 of his bodyguards at the team's stadium during a match. Bragan and his associates had an ongoing conflict with mob groups and rival businessmen, and had survived several attempts on his life. Bragan, who was alleged to have a leadership role in the Ukrainian mafia, was succeeded by Akhmetov as team president following his death. Some associate Akhmetov with the death of Bragan. Following the assassinations, Akhmetov is said to have inherited a vast financial empire from Bragan. Akhmetov would head Dongor Bank in 1995. In September 1999, an official Ukrainian Ministry of Internal Affairs report titled The Overview of the Most Dangerous Organized Crime Structures in Ukraine identified Akhmetov as a leader of an organized crime syndicate. The report tied the group to money laundering, financial fraud, and the control of numerous large and fictitious companies. The report also says that the group's activities have been stopped, and says further that their criminal natures have not been confirmed. Released in a WikiLeaks diplomatic cable, Volodymyr Horbilin, one of Ukraine's most respected policy strategists and former presidential advisor, told the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine in 2006 that the Party of Regions, which enjoyed deep pockets, being largely financed by billionaire Donetsk boss Rinat Akhmetov, is partly composed of pure criminals and anti-democracy figures. In a U.S. diplomatic cable dated 3 February 2006, then U.S. Ambassador John Herbst referred to Akhmetov's Party of Regions as long a haven for Donetsk-based mobsters and oligarchs, and called Akhmetov the godfather of the Donetsk clan. After Ukraine's Orange Revolution of late 2004, in an attempt to fight corruption, several prominent businessmen who were also Party of Regions members came under criminal investigation. In 2011, Hennedy Moskal, who in 2005 acted as Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs of Ukraine, gave an interview to Ukrainian magazine, where he claimed to have been under presidential orders in 2005 to investigate and audit Akhmetov for his alleged role in organized crime. Concrete evidence was never officially revealed against him, nor his company. According to Moskal, the MVS investigated all incidents related to missing people in 1990s in Donetsk region, who had any property left, and its current owners, but no connections with Rinat Akhmetov and his entourage were found. Looking back, Moskal concluded that we had nothing on Akhmetov in 2005. According to political journals Post-Soviet Affairs and The Nation, Akhmetov was investigated on murder charges and for his alleged role in organized crime in the Donetsk region. To avoid prosecution, he was prompted to flee the country to Monaco. In June 2005, Serhiy Kornik, then head of the Interior Ministry's Economic Crimes Department, stated publicly that Akhmetov was the head of organized crime group. Quote, that year, Boris Kolzanov, a friend and associate who had been tied to Akhmetov since the 1980s, was arrested on charges of extortion and conspiracy to assassinate a rival Donetsk businessman. Charges against Akhmetov and Kolzanov were dropped in 2006 amid significant rise in political power by the former, and the cooperation of the Yushchenko government ending Akhmetov's exile. Scm Group. Akhmetov founded System Capital Management Group in 2000, and has been its sole proprietor since 2009. During his career, Scm has grown to be one of Ukraine's leading financial and industrial firms with assets including over 100 businesses in metals and mining, power generation, banking and insurance, telecommunications, media and real estate, and revenues of around $12.8 billion and has assets worth over $22.7 billion. The largest company in the Scm Group is Metinvest, which is a mining and steel businessman, is generally agreed to be Ukraine's largest private businessman, is one of the largest steel businesses in Europe. In June 2004, Akhmetov and Viktor Pinchuk acquired the steel factory Krivorizhstal for roughly $800 million from the state in a 2004 tender, despite much higher bids made by foreign companies. Later, in 2005, the first Tymoshenko government reversed this sale, and held a nationally televised repeat auction that netted a record-breaking $4.8 billion. Scm has been recognized as a leader of Ukrainian corporate social responsibility ratings, garnering the top nomination by Wikipedia magazine's rankings of Ukraine's socially responsible companies in 2011. Scm had previously won in 2009 and 2010. In 2008, 3.4 million Ukrainian hryvnias was given to compensate the victims and people whose relatives died in the blasts at Akhmetov's Krasnolimanskaya and Karla-Marksa coal mines. A further 600,000 Ukrainian hryvnias was given to relatives of 6 miners killed in a methane blast at the Duvanaya coal mine. Akhmetov's business empire has benefited enormously from his access to power. Forbes reports that in January 2014, for example, his businesses won 31% of all state tenders. Wealth. Rinat Akhmetov has been -- 1 in Correspondent magazine annual Ukraine's top 50 richest people rating, with the estimated wealth of 2006 $11.80 bill, 2007 $15.60 bill, 2008 $31.10 bill, 2009 $9.60 bill, 2010 $17.80 bill, 2011 $25.60 bill, 2012 $17.80 bill, 2013 $18.30 bill. Forbes. The world's billionaires rating. 2006 No. 451 with a net worth of $1.70 bill. 2007 number 214 with $4 bill. 2008 number 127 with $7.30 bill. 2009 number 397 with $1.80 bill. 2010 number 148 with $5.20 bill. 2011 number 39 with $16 bill. 2012 number 39 with $16 bill. 2013 number 47 with $15.40 bill. 2015 number 201 with $6.70 bill. Political activity. Akhmetov has been noted as a financier and unofficial leader of the Party of Regions political party. In of 13 September 2007 diplomatic cable released between prominent Ukrainian business partners Serhiy Taruta, Vitaly Haiduk, and U.S. Ambassador William Taylor. Taruta alleged that Akhmetov had in 1997 persuaded Ukrainian President Leonid Akhmetov to appoint Viktor Yanukovych governor of Donetsk Oblast, who then in turn made Haiduk his deputy. In follow-up of the released cables, Akhmetov's spokesperson refused comment and Haiduk denied the conversation taking place. Akhmetov was elected as a member of Ukraine's Verkhovna Rada during the 2006 Ukrainian parliamentary election as a member of the Party of Regions. Akhmetov Akhmetov was re-elected during the 2007 parliamentary election again as a member of the Party of Regions. However, he only appeared once in the Verkhovna Rada building during his inauguration. Leader of the party's faction in the Verkhovna Rada, Alexander Yefremov, has mentioned that Rinat Akhmetov provides substantive support to the faction by providing what he referred to as functioning expert groups. He established that a counseling on draft laws. In December 2011, Akhmetov announced he was not going to participate in the 2012 parliamentary election. U.S. diplomatic cables revealed that Akhmetov posted $2 million bail in 2007 for the release of 3 members of the Party of Regions, including former Sumy Governor Volodymyr Shaban, who was accused of election rigging, extortion, tax evasion and abuse of office. The Russian-language newspaper Segodnya, owned by Akhmetov, has drawn criticism for its alleged mandate favoring coverage of certain politicians and public figures. The journalist at the paper admitted. Reaction to the southeastern conflict in Ukraine. Akhmetov has denied claims made by Pavel Gubarev in an interview published in the Russian state-controlled newspaper Rossiyskaya Gazeta on 12 May, 2014. According to Gubarev, Akhmetov has financed the separatist movement in the region, and that the separatists all took money from Akhmetov and others, saying that, as it turned out, 2/3 of the activists were supported by the oligarch Akhmetov. On 10 May 2014, Akhmetov's Metinvest company announced it would be forming an unarmed militia of steelworker employees to stop looting by separatists and criminals in the city of Mariupol. In a 19 May breaking news message on Ukraine TV, Akhmetov claimed the representative of this Donetsk People's Republic were committing genocide of Donbass. At his initiative the next day, a so-called peace march was held in the Stadium Donbass Arena in Donetsk, accompanied by cars beeping the horns at noon. Akhmetov has vowed that siren ringing every day at noon across all of Donbass until peace is established. Akhmetov is helping the victims of the war in Donbass in southeastern Ukraine. As of March 2014, he had allocated 35 million Ukrainian hryvnias for this assistance. The Rinat Akhmetov Humanitarian Center was established in August 2014 in order to provide maximum assistance to all civilians of Donetsk and Luhansk, regions affected by the military actions. The center has pooled resources of the foundation and all Scm Group's businesses and FC Shakhtar. The activity of the center is dedicated to financial, humanitarian, medical and psychological assistance for the victims of the conflict in the southeastern Ukraine and evacuation from the hotspots in the east of Ukraine. In August 2014, Akhmetov's Foundation for Development of Ukraine also started a new particular project called Humanitarian Aid Drives. The purpose of this project is the regular delivery of food and children's packages to Donbass. As of June 2016, over 18 million food packages were provided to IDPs and residents of 57 districts and settlements of Donetsk and Luhansk regions. The package includes flour, sugar, cereals, oats, tin foods, sunflower oil, stew, pasta, canned corn, gingerbreads and condensed milk. Akhmetov also made numerous statements since March 2014, appealing for integrity of Ukraine and finding peaceful solutions of the crisis. He believes decentralization should be part of this peaceful solution. Sports and patronage. Following the mysterious October 1995 bombing assassination of former team president Akhar Bragan at the team's stadium, Akhmetov subsequently inherited operation of the Shakhtar Donetsk football club. On the 11th of October 1996, Akhmetov was appointed president of the team and began investing heavily in both players and the training facilities. Under his command, FC Shakhtar became Premier League champions in 2002, 2005, 2006, 2008, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013 and 2014, domestic cup champions in 1997, 2001, 2002, 2004, 2008, 2011, 2012, 2013, Super Cup in 2005, 2008, 2012, 2013 and 2014, and UEFA Cup in 2009. In 2009, Donbas Arena Stadium was built in Donetsk at Rinat Akhmetov's initiative. It is the first stadium in Eastern Europe that was designed and built to the elite UEFA standards. Its seating capacity holds over 50,000 persons. Rinat Akhmetov had dreamt about such a stadium long before Ukraine had acquired the right to host Euro 2012. Due to the war in Donbas in Ukraine, FC Shakhtar moved to Kiev. Since May 2014, the team is based in Kiev and plays their home games in Lviv. Meanwhile, the club's home stadium Donbas Arena in August 2014 became a center of humanitarian aid in Donetsk. The volunteers unload the food products, form the individual sets and pass them to people in need there. During the fighting, the Donbas Arena was seriously damaged as a result of shelling several times. The humanitarian aid distribution was continued. Personal life. Rinat Akhmetov is married to Lilia Nikolaevna Smirnova, who herself is an ethnic Russian, and has two sons with her, Damir and Almir. Akhmetov owns London's most expensive penthouse at 1 Hyde Park, which was originally purchased for a reported $213 million as a portfolio investment and spent another reported $120 million to fix them up. The information about the deal was disclosed only 4 years later, in April 2011, after the asset has shown a steady annual rise. In May 2013, the property was transferred from his company, Scm, to himself. Philanthropy. Akhmetov is involved with charities that support Ukrainian citizens. Akhmetov established the Foundation for Development of Ukraine in 2005, which is determined to eliminate the roots of social problems in Ukraine. In 2008, it has been reported that within next 5 years the organization planned to spend $150 million to fulfill its programs. In 2007, Akhmetov founded the Foundation for Effective Governance to support economic development of Ukraine. Founded with a goal to improve the standard of living of each Ukrainian citizen, it was shut down in January 2014 amid protests against Akhmetov. In 2008, Akhmetov donated 258,600 million Ukrainian hryvnias to charity that made him the No. 2 in a list of top 10 businessmen who donated for charity in 2008. In the following year, Ukrainian Business Weekly.He named Akhmetov the top businessman philanthropist in Ukraine. In 2010, Akhmetov's total charitable contributions amounted to 155 Ukrainian hryvnias, 65 million, making him No. 1 philanthropist in Ukraine. For 2011, Akhmetov donated 222.7 million Ukrainian hryvnias to charity. Starting from the year 2000, Rinat Akhmetov and his friend Igor Krutoy have been involved in a charity campaign on St. Nicholas Day in Donetsk and Donetsk Oblast, visiting children deprived of parental care, orphans and children in hospitals. In 2012 he donated $19 million to build an oncology research center. Akhmetov's salary for being a member of Ukraine's Verkhovna Rada was traditionally deferred to charity. Notable donations: in October 2007, nearly $900,000 was donated to families of victims of the gas explosion that tore through an apartment complex in Dnipropetrovsk. In April 2011, Rinat Akhmetov decided to allocate $1 million to support the Shelter project for construction of the new safe confinement to cover Reactor No. 4 at Chernobyl. In April 2011, after the earthquake in Japan in March 2011, FC Shakhtar Donetsk donated $1 million to victims of the disaster, saying, "This is a terrible tragedy and its scope is really international. The Ukrainians who experienced Chernobyl understand Japanese people. Unfortunately, we cannot return thousands of lives, but what we can really help those who survived and stayed alive." In September 2014, during the war in Donbass, he was credited with providing a total of 550,000 food packages throughout eastern Ukraine. Cultural and political image. Euromaidan. During the 2013-14 Euromaidan anti-government protests, Akhmetov became a target of protest as he was seen as a symbol of oppression. In December 2013, protesters picketed his residence in London on several occasions, urging him to cut ties with incumbent President Viktor Yanukovych. In response, Akhmetov issued a statement condemning police brutality. On December 31, Akhmetov reprimanded a group of protesters in public near his home in Donetsk. Disputes in the media. When dealing with public criticism and allegations concerning his past, Akhmetov has utilized a notably well-stocked PR and legal team to protect his image and name. His team often contests reports on him that they consider to be libelous, scandalous, or inaccurate. To date, his legal team has obtained many retractions, apologies, and libel settlements. Critics accuse Akhmetov of going beyond protecting his name, but rather fear-mongering investigative journalists. As many court cases occur in London for its lax free speech laws, critics accuse Akhmetov and his legal team of abuse of libel tourism. In January 2008, Akhmetov won a London libel court case for damage to his reputation for such claims, while several other claims about an alleged criminal past have been retracted by the media. In a statement issued by Akhmetov's lawyer Mark McDougall, Akhmetov has done a lot of work to protect his good name from false accusations, which might hurt the reputation of his family and business. As the result of it, many publications in Ukraine and other European countries had published retractions and apologies, admitted that their claims are false. We think that these facts speak for themselves. In 2007, the KYIV Post, the primary English-language daily newspaper in Ukraine, published an article relating to Mr. Akhmetov's business transactions relating to the Dnipro thermoelectric generator and the Krivorizhstal steel mill. The newspaper published an apology stating that, on closer examination, we concluded these allegations relating to Mr. Akhmetov were untrue and have no basis in fact. In 2007, the German-language Swiss newspaper Neue Zürcher Zeitung retracted defamatory statements from published earlier article regarding Mr. Akhmetov's early business career in the 1990s, noting that there is no connection between Akhmetov and organized crime in Ukraine, and the economic success of Akhmetov is not based by any means on criminally acquired starting capital. In 2008, a judgment was obtained from the High Court of Justice in London after Obos Revital a Ukrainian-language internet publication, refused to retract false and libelous statements alleging that Mr. Akhmetov was connected to criminal activity and violence. The Oboz Revitel reporter interviewed his former classmates and neighbors, and delved into his early years. Following court pressure, Oboz Revitel issued an official apology, stating, "The editorial hereby admits that there was unchecked and false information about Rinat Akhmetov present in the articles. We hereby give our apologies to Rinat Akhmetov for the problems resulted from the above-mentioned publications." Quote, Tetiana Chornovol, who has political ambitions, refused to issue an apology or acknowledge any wrongdoing. The website golocalpro.com, based in Providence, Rhode Island, published in 2010 allegations that Akhmetov had ties to organized crime. Subsequently, PolitiFact engaged in a review of the allegations on golocalprov's site and disputed the sources on which they were based, stating that key elements of the story are false or unproven, and that the story presented suspicions, suggestions, innuendo, and conspiracy theories as fact. The golocalprov articles and audio shortly after their publishing were removed from the site. The publisher, Josh Fenton, explained that they disappeared for technical reasons, and the radio station which aired the interview containing the allegations refused comment. In 2010, the French daily newspaper Le Figaro issued a retraction of false allegations it published on the 18th of January 2010 regarding Rinat Akhmetov, due to a lack of evidence to support their claims, and issued an apology. Le Figaro had claimed that Akhmetov was a scandalous Ukrainian oligarch, and that he was a bandit in the past. In 2013, Akhmetov's legal representatives issued a press release in response to accusations in the media, which cited politicians and journalists, that implicated Akhmetov in the 1996 murder of Donetsk-based Ukrainian oligarch Yevhen Shaban. The official statement stated that they have not found any proof suggesting that Akhmetov was involved in Shaban's or other businessmen's killings. To be honest, some of the businessmen killed in the 1990s were Mr. Akhmetov's close friends. Awards. Order of Prince Yaroslav the Wise of the V-Class. Full Chevalier of Order of Merit, I-Class in 2006, 2-Class in 2004, 3-Class in 2002. Full Chevalier of the Miner's Glory Medal. Honored Worker of Fitness and Sports of Ukraine. Award from President of Pakistan Satara-e-Pakistan for merits to Pakistan. Donetsk Citizens Recognition Prize in 2008. In the nomination, Caring for the Future. Honorary Citizen of Donetsk.